Houthi rebels continue to defy the international community and refuse to meet with UN mission in Hodeidah. Houthi deadly mines continue to claim lives of civilians in Hodeidah. The State Department announces U.S. envoy Tim Lenderking is to visit the region again. Welcome to Yemen Today TV. This is the English news with me, Roshan Fouad. The Yemeni government confirmed that Houthi militia refused to meet with UN mission in Hodeidah and that they planted mines in new areas south of the city. The head of the Yemeni government team to implement the Hodeidah agreement, Major General Mohammed Aida, revealed Houthi militia refused to implement Stockholm agreement or to take a similar step for the deployment announced by the coalition. Aida said there are contacts with the UN mission to hold meetings. He added that Houthis have so far refused to hold any meetings and the mission has not reached any results with them over the past 5 days. Aida added that Houthis planted mines into new contact lines in a measure that threatens civilians. Local sources said that a Houthi mine exploded in a passenger bus, killing at least 10 people and wounding others. They said the mine explosion occurred on a road in Hodeidah after the Houthi rebels opened roads in the governorate. The sources noted that the rebels opened the road despite having no knowledge about the maps of mines they have randomly planted earlier in the area. United Nations welcomes a Dutch contribution to support mine removal in Yemen. UN Development Programme said that Netherlands will contribute with $7.5 million for the project. The Dutch funding will help establish a new 3-year project that aims at supporting institutional capacity to respond to the threat of explosives. Doctors Without Borders last weekend said Mekha Hospital received 34 wounded as a result of the fighting in the southern districts of Hodeidah. The organization expressed its concern about the health and safety of the population in Hodeidah amid the ongoing clashes between the joint forces and the Houthi rebels. MSF head of mission affirmed the organization's commitment to provide life-saving medical assistance in accordance with the principles of independence, impartiality, and integrity. U.S. State Department said its special envoy to Yemen, Tim Lenderking, will return to the region on a new tour that includes Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. The U.S. envoy will join a team to coordinate approaches to regional security. Lenderking will also meet with senior officials on efforts to advance an inclusive, UN-led peace process in Yemen and to bring immediate relief to the people of Yemen. He will also discuss the Houthis' continued detention of some Yemeni staff to the U.S. Embassy in Sana'a. In Ma'rib, Houthi militia targeted a Rahma camp inhabited by 298 displaced families. Informed sources reported the militia shelled the camp with ballistic missiles without regard to the safety and lives of hundreds of children and women. The sources called on the international community to force the Houthi militia to stop their systematic targeting of camps for the displaced. Still in Ma'rib, government forces and tribesmen thwarted attacks by the Houthi militia on several fronts south of the governorate. Military sources said the Houthi militia launched intensive attacks on the positions of the government forces on Harib and Al Juba fronts. Simultaneously, the government forces and tribes thwarted intense attacks of the Houthi militia in Wadi Danna and a mountain range south of Ma'rib. Government forces backed by the tribes advanced in a number of fronts and inflicted the Houthi rebels losses in lives and equipment. More details are in the following report.
2 days of fierce battles in Ma'rib's southern Dana front, which is close to Al-Zur region. Houthi militia operations are focused towards Dana after failing to achieve any progress on Al-Amud and Reach fronts. Dana front, where Houthi militia moved about 5 squads on the first day trying to reach the strategic Al-Khazan Hill that overlooks villages of Wadi Dana and Al-Rawda, but these attempts failed. 16 hours later, battles resumed. However, this time, government forces backed by resistance launched a counter-attack to restore sites from Houthi militia. A whole month of confrontations where Houthi militia continue pushing reinforcements towards Ma'rib fronts, and during this period numbers of militia's deaths reached 350, and the number could be rising. Zur, Dana and Rish fronts are areas where Houthi military operations are intensified. Today's battle is not similar to the battle of yesterday, as government forces defeat Houthi militia and inflict heavy losses among them. Here from Dana front, prominent leader from the government forces inform us about the battle.
Yesterday's battles were fierce. 3 formations sent by Houthi militia failed as they were faced by resilience of men who would sacrifice their lives for the sake of the country. Houthi militia incurred heavy losses in those mountains and they are finished. The rebels suffered heavy losses in terms of lives and equipments. The coalition urged support us by monitoring and destroying military vehicles of Houthis.
As for the east, not far from Dana front, groups of Houthi militia tried to carry out a detour operation on Rish front. Clashes lasted for a week, in which Houthi rebels suffered more losses. Airstrikes and artillery shelling targeted the center of 3 crews and 2 sites where militia members are stationed and where heavy weapons were hidden.
We will not allow Houthi militia to enter Ma'rib, and we will not stop fighting them until our last breath. We will win, and we will not give up our battle against Houthi, no matter what is the cost. Soldiers are steadfast and stationed in their positions, and we say either victory or death.
Ma'rib's southern fronts became another example for determination and commitment in Yemen's battle against the Iranian project. The Houthi hope to bring back Yemen to Imamate era.
More than 90 Houthi militants were killed in coalition raids that were carried out in Ma'rib and Bayda. Coalition said it has conducted 29 operations during the past 24 hours. It added that the Houthi air defense system was destroyed during the raids. The coalition indicated that 6 other operations were carried out in the western coast. The Houthi militia buried 131 dead of its members. Among the killed Houthis, there were 105 who held different military ranks. According to sources, most of the killed among Houthis came from the fronts of Ma'rib and the western coast, following violent battles and air raids. Coming next. Due to incredible high prices and market chaos, local authorities in Aden approve unified and new bread price.
اضطرينا نحن نغادر من ذي وزحنا.
الله يستبدلكم يا محويتني، لا الله يستبدل.
Welcome back. A British delegation visited the Coast Guard Authority in Aden. The delegation, accompanied by the British Defense Attaché to Yemen, was briefed on maintenance work in the Coast Guard equipment. It also discussed future support in several aspects, especially provision of means necessary to carry out tasks of the Coast Guard. Prices of food, fuel, and services continue to rise in both Sana'a and Aden. A new wave of high prices swept through all consumer goods and services in healthy controlled areas, where price indicators confirmed that the dollar price in Sana'a is unreal. According to economic reports, 80% of the cash is accumulating outside the official banking sector. Bankers said currency transaction in healthy controlled areas is almost frozen. Roti is a popular bread in Yemen. The prices of the roti skyrocketed recently due to war and the economic crisis that engulfs the country. Local authorities offered an initiative to lower the prices of roti in Aden. More in the following report.
The roti is a Yemeni remarkable thing upon which people's life depends. It is a Yemeni bread that people eat in every meal. However, the price of this food item became high and affordable for many. For that high price, local authorities proposed an initiative to lower its price. The initiative would slash the price of roti by about 40%.
This comes after people's life was in the black, so it was a good initiative by the governor to finance the bakeries that sell roti for 50 riyals, so that the governorate will take half of the cost and the other half will be on the bakery. People's lives depend on roti. They eat roti bread in the morning, in the afternoon and in the evening.
People expressed their happiness for the new initiative that came to alleviate their suffering amid the war circumstances.
People are now happy. The loaf is for 30 riyals. All citizens will eat. They decrease the price of roti and gas, and the life is going on. Thank God.
This is a beneficiary project. It is excellent in order to ease the lives of people.
It's good for the citizens and will ease their suffering in the current circumstance in which we live in.
The step to decrease the price of roti will indeed help people in their lives, and they expect local authorities to do more in order to ease people's burdens.
A recent report issued by United Nations Office for Coordinating Human Affairs said total grain production in Yemen decreased by 61% and the area of cereal cultivation decreased by 41%. According to OCHA, the conflict and food insecurity led to limited access to agricultural land and a rise in the prices. The report noted that during 2020, the crisis was further worsened by the escalation of conflict, the corona pandemic, floods, and lower remittance. In Hais, the third bazaar to empower women and girls were opened. The beneficiaries displayed their local products in order to alleviate their suffering from the 7 Years' War. More is in the following report.
In the context of integrating the rehabilitation of women, developing their talents and integrating them into society by displaying their local products, the Institution for Women and Girls affiliated with the For Human Foundation, which operates in Hais District, Al Hudaydah Governorate, represents an opportunity to display their products within the third bazaar for beneficiaries of the Economic Empowerment Project, funded by the United Nations Population Fund.
There are 60 women in this training working in several fields, including knitting, sewing, pastry, embroidery, accessories, and perfume. These women have been trained this year, and today we are launching a bazaar for them to display all their products in it and encourage them to market their products.
Products made by girls who were trained in the knitting, sewing, embroidery, perfume, and incense industries after they were given an integrated empowerment package for each participant to practice their activities and start their own projects and improve their living conditions.
I am one of the girls who were trained in this institution for women and girls. We have received the back in which all our needs exist, and our life has become better now. And today I am displaying my products in this bazaar and selling it. Hopefully products will be better in next bazaars.
Thank God, now we started to financially depend on ourselves, and now we are in this bazaar displaying our products from all types of clothes, as you can see here: dresses, pajamas, and sleeping gowns.
The bazaar included the presentation and marketing of products to the local market to achieve the main objective of the Empowerment Project, in order to alleviate the suffering of women and girls who live in difficult humanitarian and living conditions, and to help them provide sources of income, especially since most of them lost the breadwinner as a result of the war that has been raging for more than 7 years.
The aim of this bazaar and project is to reduce the suffering of families from the hard living conditions they face, and under the circumstances of the 7 years war, and its consequences from pain and displacement of people to be able to be more independent, especially that a lot of families have lost their breadwinner, and women have taken this role instead.
On a sideline of the bazaar, and in a ceremony that included various activities in the field of drawing arts and recreational competitions in which a number of attendees participated, the beneficiaries of the rehabilitation project in the field of manufacturing local products were honored, and within the institution, activities aimed at training destitute women to provide them with skills that enable them to live a decent life and provide the requirements of life.
Even though education has been hit by war like anything else in the country, initiatives by civil society and international organizations to mend what the war ruined give hope for people. One example of such initiatives is the opening of a new school in the countryside of Taiz. More details on this story are within the following report.
The educational system in Yemen has been destroyed since 7 years ago when the war happened. On the other hand, hope is there, and on an area estimated at 4,000 square meters, this school was built in the middle of Hazman area, affiliated to Al-Mawasit district, as it's the first model civil project that supports public education in the countryside of Taiz and provides qualitative education for students who will be selected according to tests and scientific criteria supervised by specialists.
What makes this school special is that it will only be for excellent students. This school will provide students with all materials they need regarding the education sector.
The crisis in Yemen undermined development and service projects. For more than 10 years, the education sector was the most affected, and this project allowed to break the isolation caused by war and announce a new hope regarding education in Yemen. It consists of 3 floors comprising 19 classrooms, 2 laboratories, and other facilities that were established according to the latest technical specifications.
The school consists of 3 floors and it has 16 classrooms, and it has a full management system with a control room and principal room. It also has bathrooms to both genders and teachers.
The people in Yemen are talking about how happy they are with this project and that it touched their hearts since the start of it, which lasted for more than a year.
All the projects in the country were stopped due to the war, but now with the school built, it gave us hope and we are very grateful for it.
It was a dream and it became a reality, through which they overcame the problems of education through attendance and active participation. The opening of Al-Muqbil School in this way is an important invitation to evolve the private sector to support the educational process throughout the country.
The late Sheikh Yasser Al-Awadi, Secretary General and Assistant Secretary General of the GPC, was buried in the Egyptian capital, Cairo. The mourners presented political and social figures who paid tribute to Sheikh Yasser Al-Awadi, who had a great role in solving tribal problems and issues. Here's a reminder of the main headlines. Houthi rebels continue to defy the international community and refuse to meet with UN mission in Hodeidah. Houthi deadly mines continue to claim lives of civilians in Hodeidah. The State Department announces U.S. envoy Tim Lenderking is to visit the region again. This brings us to the end of the news. It was Roshan Fouad. Thank you for watching.